Hello, 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 filthy animals. We're back again. It's JoJo League, and we've got game 2 with fitz+Kewa against Homer+Stardekk. So let's get straight to the business and have a look at the decks. As we can see here, we've got Kewa on the balance with 6 airborne. Interesting choice. Yeah, Tetrax, Cromwell's, gonna be interesting. Let me just check. What is the map? I'm not even entirely sure. Let me just check the map. We are on Vitebsk East. I can't quite recall what that one is, but I guess we're going to find out soon enough. I think that might be one with the towns and the river, but maybe not. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. So plenty 17-pounders here to do the business in the late game. Typhoons for sniping tanks if need be. Mosquito Flamer opening. Ow, ow, ow. And we got the off maps. I believe this is played after the patch where the off maps have been nerfed. So this will be a bit more pricey. Unlike in the last game, we did see a lot of off maps going down. But yeah, it might actually benefit the 2v2 league, because we're going to see not as many off maps coming in. But they're still going to be extremely useful in this game mode, of course, in 2v2s. Anyway, let's go and have a look, see at his teammate, see what he's got in store. And here we are, with good old Fitzy. And we got snipers. Balanced build as well here. Decent amount of infantry. The Zis 3 is going to be really nice now. The HE on these now is pretty nice. Pretty damn fantastic, to be honest. Nice looking deck. Looks a bit more... what would the word be? A bit more sort of conservative in terms of numbers here. It's going for a bit of veterancy in B with Gradia DP. Going for the early push with a Sapere PPSH, which are nice, and the Jeeps go super fast. SU-152 is going to be a bit of a pain at some point, I imagine. And we've got more off maps again, so they're going straight in for the off maps. They believe this is the meta for the 2v2. Who's to say they are right or wrong? We'll find out. And now their opponents. And as you can see, we've got Stardekk, 160th Panzer. Not something you're likely to see in 1v1 games, but in 2v2s, yep, different options are available. And a very interesting pick for a couple of reasons here. We've got the Maverick income. So not as many infantry units coming in here. Nice early recon card push. You've got the Panzer 3Ls in the early game too. It's got a Panther in here. 2 Panthers actually. 1 leader, 1 ordinary. And a couple of Panzer 4 leaders. Panzer 4 F1s and Griller. There's going to be a lot of range stuff coming in. Marder 3s as well. Then to back this up, Jag Panzer 4s, which are really nice. Did you not get more of these? Oh, just 1 card in this deck. But yeah, obviously playing for the early game. They're not investing, got more Panthers in B, but not investing into any AA pieces into B. So they're looking to finish out the game pretty early on. And this is particularly interesting. I do like this. The Panzerwerfer. I've been mentioning these recently when I've been doing the streaming. Like, I want to play around with these. They look like they're fun. I don't usually use these kind of things, to be honest, but this makes perfect sense, because now the off mats are so pricey, like 170 points. So you get more of these in. You get 6 of these, 100 points each. You can dish out some damage. He's got his mortar half tracks. These are mobile as well, so very, very interesting choice. I like the thinking behind this. In terms of air, bugger all. It's a nice deck because you can get these 50 points, nice, cheap and cheerful. You get 4 of them in A as well. Worth bringing out for doing some early business. I imagine his teammates got a bit more in the air department. He's just gone for 2 mobile wagons in A and SDKFZs in B for protection. But the air could be an issue, but we'll see what his teammate has in store for us now. And here we are with Homer's deck, and we've got Maverick again. So this is going to be hot and spicy business going on. Double snipers in A. He's got more recon coming in B. In terms of the air, of course, because Panzer Divisiana, or however you say that thing. Pansari is easy, isn't it? He's got his recon planes coming out, the gladiators. They got a mini buff recently, didn't they? Not that they're particularly amazing, but in terms of biplanes, they're fairly fast. Good manoeuvrability. They can't really shoot anything down, no. So they're not terrible at all. Blenheims, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful Blenheims. They do work. I do find these things can be fairly decent, but with AA around in a 2v2 game, not so much. With just 2 rockets, yeah. Yeah, if I was to play this in a team game, I'd probably go for them in C phase and just try and bring them out in pairs and do stuff. But yeah, not much point in this. These things, 500 kilo bomb, 95 points, pretty nice, good availability. Cluster planes, just going for these in the A phase. Looks like they're going to be pushing fairly hard in the A. And now we've got the T-26s, so we're going to be a bit of this spamming out. The soccer for some, do these have 2K range? I can never remember if they do or they don't. They do. Like, some of them do, some of them don't. He's not opted for the T-28. I do like these. Great for supporting your infantry. And as you're on Sturmy all the way down. No T-34s, none of the KVs used here at all. Just looking for speed. I'm surprised about the T-34s. I might sort of see a card of those coming in A phase. But not. We've got some cheapo disheartened. These, again, I'm not massively keen on these, but they've got Molotovs. Chuck them in the forest. Can do some work. I think he just wants to use the better Jakari later in the game. You've got 2 cards in B, 1 card in C. Wow. There's no leaders in A here, which is an issue, I think. He's not using the flamers either. I can't quite recall a map, so... Going to be a bit interesting here. And he's got the anti-tank rifles. He's gone for 2 cards of these. It's very unusual to see that. Very unusual indeed. In terms of AA, got some decent cover in here. You got these kind of like a Nimrod. So pretty tasty. Good maneuverability. These cannot kill tanks though, so that's a bit of an issue with those. And then you got the 40mm in B, which can do some nice work. But yeah, the air could still be a little bit contentious for them. Not got the best fighters in the world. The BF-109s, yeah, decent, run-of-the-mill kind of fighters. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. Oh, of course, the ISU 152. And opting for the BT 42 in B phase. I do try and do this sometimes, but I find I never get a chance to use them. So I do tend to believe these are better off in A, because they're a little bit on the slow side. And I think by the time they're coming out in the late game, they're more likely to get sniped by some equipment. In the early game, they can get some damage down. But we shall see how he utilises these things. Anyway, let's get to it. And here we are, and this is the map, the Vitkatikpikaska East, whatever it's called. So, going to be an interesting one. I think what we're likely to see here is the Allied side are just going to be rushing forward our fast jeeps, trying to gain some early ground, possibly in this area, possibly getting some early stuff into the edges around here, same over here. Maybe even rushing down into here and trying to get onto the hill a bit, and possibly even trying to maneuver and get something round right up to here. And then we could see the Axis just piercing straight through the front line early on. But it's really interesting to see the Maverick versus Balanced. And I've been waiting to see this for a while. And last time we did have fitz+Kewa, who did pull off the win. Looked fairly effective in how they did that. And so are we going to see the Maverick really show some power in this game? With 50-minute time limit, you can sort of close out the game with Maverick. It can be done. It is incredibly powerful. But let's just see how this comes off. I've used Maverick before in in 2v2 team games, and it's been really effective with the time limit on. Oh, and apologies for the last cast. I've now remembered to turn my mic on. I've just been extremely tight today, actually, so I'm not streaming. But yeah, I was just tired. I forgot to turn it back on again, but I try and pay better attention. Kind of annoying, but it happens. What have we got down here then? So we've got Kewa, 6 airborne. Going to be really effective in these forests in this area. I really do feel like the Tetraks in around here. If he gets the 17 pounders out into these positions, could be pretty nice. On the hill, what's going up here? So this is Fitz. He's not bringing a lot. Oh my god, there's a hell of a lot here. Alright, so it's the Sapiri. Looks like he's going to be going absolutely madness for the push over here. I've got a feeling we might see a mosquito napalm run coming in here, which could be really brutal on this map if he just drops it off in this area, and we are off. If it comes in and drops it off here, it's going to be horrible. But yeah, the Axis side, they have invested here. Some of the stuff not moving here. Who is this? Stardekk, wakey wakey. Just forgot some stuff. So it looks like we've got the Pansari in the north, 160 in the south. Oh, and here comes the napalm, and it's been spotted. Extremely annoying. I might be able to get to the. He's not actually pushing up that far, so it's not really going to cause much inconvenience at all for him. The AA pieces are out. Did any flamer come out here? No, he's dropping smoke instead. And he's really rushing to get into here. It's going to be... Got Jakari coming in. Jakari's really aggressive push here. I guess these guys are just not familiar with this map and how the pushes can work here. Latil could do a lot of damage if he unloads. When the Tetraks come out, they could get popped by this Latil. Lati, sorry. The Allies are off to a good start again with the speed. It's to be expected. Kavari, it's very light on the hill. This hill is absolutely key on this map. Really key. Panzergren's blown to pieces by the landing, and the Vickers picking them off. In the south, things not looking too peachy for the Axis side at the moment, and they have got the Maverick going on. The T-34s coming in. When these arrive, this could change the entire dynamic on the hill. There needs to be some infantry coming in to back these up pretty soon after they arrive, though. Not quite got the hill here. It looks like oh yeah, it looks like Fitz is pinging that one out. C-34 is coming into the hill, I believe. There's SU-152 in the area. Popping this up here and moving it across, you can really lay down some heavy fire into this area. The 12-12 is on now. Marders, Panzer IVs. Panther leader out as well, very early in the game. Don't want to be losing this. This could be horrible loss. There's this 3 back there. Can't really do a hell of a lot unless it gets a side shot in here. Tetraks could get picked off. The Panther's in a really precarious position. Needs to move the Marders up in front of him. And the Panzer IV as well. Ooh, Flamers nearly getting a mortar there. But looking good. C-34's finally arriving. The Allies already managing to get a bit of a tick down. Looking good. In the southern position here, JU-87s. Looks like they've not had much luck with the bombing run there. I'm not sure where it was going. Maybe he did get some stuff and I missed it. Not got any tanks by the looks of it. Maybe got some transports. Tetrak Little John's really being obnoxious. He definitely needs some tank cover. This Panzer IV does need to move up. These hills are really key. You need to get them into positions covering the roads here. C-34's in the centre. This is really where the fight's going to be. This can be absolutely key to the entire game and how it turns out. Looks like we might get an Axis tick coming on fairly soon. The T-34s are now they're advancing forward. They will be able to deal with the Tetrak. If they engage in one at a time, though, they won't have much fun. Oh, he does manage to get one. Looking good. T-34-85 sat back on the hill at the moment. I think he's worried about Shreks in this area. 12-12 is on. In the north, brutal fights here. The Panthers still alive. The Marders have moved forward now. Some Tetraks might be able to deal with them, but it's got Panzer IVs, the Marders, and the Panthers in here. Panther needs to move up. Ooh! Face tanking the M42 here, which he can do. The M42's falling back. The Panthers, he's been so aggressive with this at the moment. Yeah, this T-34 just waiting for the opportune moment, I think. He's just going to sort of pop his nose over the ridge here and take a pop at these guys. On the hill, it's looking really good for the Axis. In the south, looking really bad. These Tetrat Little Johns doing a hell of a job. He just doesn't seem to have the vision down here. The Jagd Panzer is not in the best place. The one on the hill is not being utilised properly at all. Needs a recon up here. This is yeah, this is really the weakest part of the map, I would say, at the moment. Just armour. And what is there is not being used. A guerrilla sat back here, not sure what that's doing. Maybe just trying to screen in case any AT weapons come into this area. Meanwhile, in the north, they have pushed through and got the flag here, and they've got the single tick on now. So halfway through A phase. Obviously, they need a fair bit more. Another M40, no, that single M42 is taken out. There's another M42 in here. It's probably going to pop a Marder. The Panthers moving around into a really strange position. I think he's just avoiding the planes there. And yeah, a Marder does go down. Or did both of them go down? No, one of them's back here. And the M42 does go down as well. So needs to get the Panther out onto the ridge here. Could do some serious work. JU-87 coming in. Oh, just missed the T-34. Nice escape there from Fitz. But he's really pressured onto this flag. 12-12 is back on again. Not a lot of progress being made on the hill. The T-34s, I mean the T-26s over here, are sort of dominating, but there's yet to be any huge influx of infantry. Needs to get some Jikari in here. Start mopping up into these forests. If you take this hill, oh my god, it's almost impossible to get back onto it. Of course, there is off maps, and oh, as I say that, one does come in. I'm not quite sure where this guy's going, down in the southern position. Interesting. But the Allies doing wonderful in the southern position, and the Axis doing really well in the north. I'm surprised we've not got an off map coming in over here instead. Just pop it up behind these buildings. Drop this. Panther A goes down! Oh, the JU got it. The JU must have got that. Or the TU. Oh, that's a terrible loss. Mobile wagon just arriving, not in time at all, unfortunately. Panzerwerfer coming in as well now. Needs to get his flag on the hill really, and then another one somewhere. They need to get a double tick. On this map, a double tick is particularly difficult, especially being pushed off on one of the flanks which they have here. It's going to be tough getting back onto this hill and getting this position back, especially with the off map here to help out. But he can regain this hill with a bit of work. Alf Clara needs to get up on here, start spotting out. The Marder should push back this air landing. Tetrak could pick off the Marder though. And he's moving in for the kill now by the looks of it. Yeah, he's going to have a go at him. Probably going to get him, I think. Oh! What took that down? Jagdpanzer IV moving around into a strange position here. Guess he's really fearful of AT guns in this position. Getting back onto the ridge of the hill now, but the off map is going to land fairly soon. Will he be able to get his infantry out of harm's way? The Shrek squad might be spotted out there, and that will make the Tetrat Lil John retreat for sure. On the centre, still barely holding onto this flag here for Axis. They need to be pushing a bit more. Nearly got this one, but not quite. 12-12 is back on. They've broke through in the northern position, completely taken this hill. The Shrek not managed to get the T-34 here. Gladiator getting some really nice recon out. I'm starting to see some 25 mils coming out to help cover the airways. Another Panther is coming up into the north as well, looking to lock down this area fairly effectively. If you can dominate on this hill as well, it's really what they need to do at the moment. Doesn't look like they're going to push through anything more onto this hill. I really think they should. If you do break through here, then you get some armour, some AT guns into this position, you can cause all kinds of hell. You can even push through onto this flag from there. But 12-12 is on, and it is Maverick, and we are soon to be entering into B phase. And I think we're going to see a huge wave of T26s coming in somewhere on the map. Not quite sure where. Could well be onto this hill here. Would be a nice little spot for them to do some work. I'm really trying to figure out where the Axis are going to attack and try and get their flags. I'm kind of guessing these two are looking pretty tasty at the moment. The single tick is on again. As you can see, with 30 minutes, they need more than 30 minutes here. To get the double tick on fairly quickly in B phase, they could finish this off. This flag can be taken with the B phase income. This flag as well, I believe, can be taken. That would be enough then. It's just a case of not losing out back here, and there's very little back here. The Yak-D Panzer IV is at least doing something here. Air landing. Oh, the PR did the PR, and it's dead. T26 looks like it's going to get picked off anyway by the Tetrak. And we've got Sturmy coming round here now. It's coming up onto the hill to lend some support there. Wants to secure this flag. What else we got going? Oh, and here we go. 2-2s coming in. Big bombing run. These T26s could be completely wiped here. Panzer 3L moving up. Did he get it? Not hit. None of them have hit, but the off-map is there now. Surely these T26s are going to go down. 2, if not 3 of them. And the infantry. Panzergren's moving up. He is actually pushing for this flag, pushing for this position. That's a wise choice in my opinion. Got Panzerwerfer back here, not quite sure what they're going to be aiming for. They've pushed onto the hill, so 1410 is on. It's looking good. We're into B phase. Got more A coming out. Here come the BT-42s. Will be interesting to see how these are used. Let's bring them up to this position. Looks like he wants to fire into the town or up onto this ridge here and try and take that position. Off map comes down. T26 is completely wiped. T34 is moving in to mop up, and he gets the flag back. The 12-12 is on again. He's got the flag back in the southern position of the hill as well. And I think they've just dropped the ball here. There's just not enough infantry coming in. True, they lost a few to the off-map there, but they should have been building up the infantry forces in this area to push through. It's just not happened. Because what you have to take into mind as well, it's not just gaining the flag on the hill. It's getting to the positions where you can lay down fire and cover this side, and you can cover this side as well by getting onto here. It can cause all kinds of problems. In the south, they're still not making any progress on that hill. In the north, they've still got it locked down, but the 12-12 is on. This is what the Allied side wants. And here we see the Panzerwerfer firing away now. I'm not quite sure what kind of damage these things do. I don't think they're that powerful. 150mm. Taking out an AA, not quite managed to snipe a tank though, but decent enough job. Not really done much damage to it at all there. Half track holding on the hill, but this T-34 can come and pop him any second really. The SU-152 coming up as well, that's definitely going to deal with all this. This flag is not long to be taken over. Sturmy, really up close. Air landing, could snipe this guy if you just get some eyes on him. Has he got eyes on him now? I think he has. Is he in range? No, maybe not quite. Sturmy, if this Sturmy goes down, it's going to be terrible. He's going to get him. Is he going to get him? They're really stressed out, so they might miss. They have missed. They're going to get another go at it. They're going to get another pop, I think. Yep. Likely to miss. Oh, he does get it. Oh, that Sturm is a terrible loss there. Blenheim's coming out now. 12-12 is on. It's looking pretty good for the Allies at this point. They've actually managed to push on the hill, take back their own flag and gain another one, and there's nothing else to stop them. That's likely to be game, to be honest. Because they need there's not. It looks like it's just been so heavily out-traded. There's a whole cluster of T-26s coming in. Going to take forever to arrive. There's lots of armor arriving. Needs to be bringing in tons of infantry as well at the same time. If you could push, like I was saying before, if they push through here and get into this area and cover this area, then it's looking really good. But at the moment, not so good. Not all is lost. Not all is lost. So just more tanks being brought in. Tanks, tanks, tanks. Not so much infantry. Chikari getting unloaded by air landing. Cromwell's pushed up now as well. The hill, saying it's so key on this map. Looks like it's completely in control of the Allies. The only thing they need now really is some AAPs to here, maybe one back here as well. One into here if they're feeling really bold, and they've got it locked down. AA is the only threat in the centre for the Allies at the moment. Nothing's coming at them immediately. Meanwhile in the south, Jakari are moving in here. Panzergren's already in the forest, but the Ox and Bucks should deal with them fairly effectively with their TNT. And there they go, kaboom, they're gone. Yeah, Jakari, they need to sort of get into the heavy cover, and then they can do what they do best, just murder people with Molotovs. And JU-87 coming in, taking out Cromwell. Nice little takedown there. There's no AA on the hill at the moment. That should give the green light to Pansari to bring in some more cluster bombers, take out these Cromwells. There's just the infantry coming in now. There's still no infantry being brought in. They're going for an off map. I don't think it's a good idea. JU-87 goes down. That's a terrible loss. They really need that. And now the Allies have the tick, and it looks like the Maverick is just not working out. It's not working out at all. Yeah, picking Pansari. They are incredibly slow, so if you're trying to get the push on them. The T-26 has still not arrived yet. I think these were called in roughly at the start of Phase B, but they're not making it to the front line yet. The speed on these, they're kind of Churchill speed, I believe. Yeah, 31. Once they arrive, though, you just need to get the there is some infantry coming in behind them, so it's pretty well timed actually. And if you can push back onto this hill, get these 2 flags, then you need one more, then you need to hold it for like, 15 minutes, well 10 minutes at least really, and then keep the single tick going after that. It's going to be really tough. We are coming to the end of Phase B now. Looks like they have been fairly decently out-traded. It's hard to tell, they've got so much armour on the map. The Allied side, they've got the Cromwells out here. T-34... So 1942, here's the 85 version, the 76 is 85, which will be able to mob these guys up if you get there. It's Panther A coming down the road now, should be able to do the work. I guess these BT-42s before did not do the job over here. Rocket artillery still coming in down here. Surprised we've not seen an off-map coming into the northern position, but it looks like they're just happy to give them that, just try and hold a single tick. That looks like the game plan for the Allies. It's all they really need to do. Keep the single tick, just keep the Axis off the double tick. And now they're pushing for a double tick themselves. Huge influx in the south. I really thought we were going to see fights in this forest here and in this forest here from both sides. Because with the light armour and the great CQC infantry, especially with the Allies, it would make sense to come in amongst here with their Shreks, their Piats, to deal with that kind of threat. BT-42 is going to go down. This Panther A on its own is probably not going to fare too well there either. Desperately pushing to get back onto the hill, but there's a lot of infantry in here now. The off-map is falling down. Looks like he might get this flag back at least, but being under the single tick, and we're soon to be entering Phase C, I honestly can't see a way that the Axis side can win this. think the only reason they might keep on pushing on because they think they've got it. They think they've traded effectively, but I'd say it's really hard to judge for me because I'm brain dead idiot. But I think they might have traded okay-ish. They can afford to lose some being on a much larger income. They've got the flag back in the south now, so they could push through and get these. I'm really surprised because considering that they didn't really bring much to the centre position at all, that the southern position was lost so quickly. This napalm didn't really affect where they positioned their units, but it's just so little brought in the southern position by Homer, I believe, with his Pansari. Yeah, now they should be able to push through here pretty damn easily. There's another off-map coming into play. Pushing up onto the hill. They could get a tick back on it fairly quickly. If you can get this flag, then they get a single tick on, get this flag, then they're just one off from a double tick. It can be done. It can be done. The northern position is really held down tightly now. The Panther A's in a strange spot. I guess the Alclara is spotting out for it. Pick off thing that comes in. Panther in a tough position here. He doesn't know what's over the ridge, so not got enough infantry to screen for him as well. Just this single Panzergren if he pops them up over here. Oh, he's bringing the Gladiator now so we can get eyes on what's going on. Very briefly. I think there's still a good chance here. Off map coming down onto this flag now. Using the off maps to get the flags back. So it looks like it has been a worthy buy-in. It is extremely pricey, 170. But we're just not seeing any further push on the hill. Looks like he's redirected onto the flanks. Oh, this off map's going to come in at a beautiful spot. The armor's not quite in position though, so if SPW can get through there, it's probably going to get picked off anyway. Oh no, he's moving them out of the way, so they're probably going to survive. Off maps coming down. Sturmir, Panzer IV coming up onto the hill. Moberwagen coming into position. Jagd Panzer IV does need to move up to here, pick off these Cromwells. That'd be really nice. The single tick is on now. The off map has fallen onto here, but it's not been able to push through. T26 not enough to do the job, and there's no more armor. No more armor up on the hill here, so this flag looks like it's a no-no at the moment. And huge reinforcements coming in the south now. Obviously on phase C can bring in chunks and chunks of infantry, and it's 27 minutes single tick. There's no way they're going to be able to hold that up. They've probably still got a bit of a point advantage, but if they can't drive it home now and get the double tick going, let's make an attempt on the hill. Yeah, Panzergren's move up. Panther A is going to move up now and should be able to dominate this hill. Should be able to get that flag, but they still need one more for the double. It's pushing really hard for this flag over here, but the T-34 has got the road covered. Chikari just make it pass. If the second one makes it pass, there's a decent chance. He's unloaded them. Oh, no, no, no. Should have just kept on pushing there, I feel. Would have had half a chance of getting through. Now they're just going to get picked off in the open. If this guy can sort of sneak around and grab this flag, could be good. Gain the hill. Just needs to inch up a little bit further. Every second counts at the moment. Needs to move them forward. Move them forward. There we go. 1410 is on. Nearly got this. Chikari. Looks like they're going to stay out of line of sight, and they're going to get into here. Stay out of line of sight of Tankos at least. I mean, if they're DP. Tankos might be able to see them, but they can't shoot at them. Nearly got that flag. There's still a good possibility he can push through onto here. This Sturmir the Panzer IV, but is he just dropping? Is he just constantly dropping off map into this area? It looks like he's doing just that. If he takes out this armor, that's going to be it. 1410 still going on. Chikari have got caught out in the light cover here. He just needs to move them. Forget about the Tankos, get the flag. You need the double tick. It's now or never, really. More Panzerwerfers coming in the central position. Not a bad idea, to be honest. If you just bomb all this area with the rockets, has a decent go of it. Panzer III and a Sturmir coming as well to the centre. Not all is lost. There is a possibility of getting the win out. The armour has survived here. I think there's a Panzer IV has gone down. They've got the flag. It's got the flag over here, but lost one in the south. It's going to get it back again soon. Move the Jikari up. Move the Jikari up. Just need to move these boys up. More Jikari coming in. Is the off map on a slow barrage there? I think it might be. And oh, just lost the flag in the south here. It's proper ping pong. I don't think they're going to do it. I think that was like the last opportunity. If they manage to wipe out this, keep the Jikari alive in here, wipe this out with the rockets, then I think there was half a chance. But now I just don't see it happening. The Guerrilla might do a good job over in this position. You can just get some eyes onto this hill and blow some things up. But yeah, it's hard to say. Hard to see how they can get anywhere now. Again, Jikari, not a good position for them over here. Want them in this forest. The Grenadiers over here will be nicer. But looks like I can hold this flag for a little bit, but not for too much longer. These Grenadiers, Grenadier Volts, whatever they're called, the Belgium guys, they're just going to wipe these guys. Yeah, it is on a slow barrage there. Damn, the little John sat back there waiting with their ridiculous AP. I think he's just going to fast move these straight through the back here. And they're going to wipe out the Sturm in the BT-42, and that's going to be game. It's got the flag back on the hill here. Sturmey's finally arriving in this area, but could get side-shotted. T-34 might get a drop on him. The M42 is also in position. Oh, is he going to get him? Oh, dear. Oh, that's fatal. If he shows any side armour to this T-34, even if he doesn't, oh, oh no, that's it. Game over. And he's firing at the T-34-85. I didn't expect that. I thought it'd be going clearly for this area for the flag. Off map still coming down. Jikari, we're in the gauntlet. If we make it past, not quite making it past the off map, I think two are going to get unloaded. The third might get there, might get unloaded by the Cromwell, or just get blown to pieces by the Little John. Yeah, and the Little Johns have moved up, taken out the Sturmey over here, and the BT-42, and that is going to be game. That is going to be game. Really nice fight. I do think the double Maverick against double balance can definitely work. I just think they've yeah, I have to take into consideration a lot of these players, they're 1v1 players, so they're not used to 2v2 maps so much, and I'm not that used to it myself, but I know on this map it's like if you can push hard and take both the flanks here. But they were dicing with death on the centre here with so little in the centre, but somehow managed to get pushed out in the south. Like, this is easy defending here. Jikari in here, you're laughing. You can hold up this place for a long time as the Axis side, and should be able to secure his flag and then put heavy pressure onto this flag. From the red side over here, yeah, losing this flag, it's so easy to lose this flag. It's really difficult to defend it. And then you can pop up the weapons onto the hill here, like so, on the edge here, firing down right directly onto this flag, as you can see. Whereas in the northern position, again, you can still get some Jikari into here. You can hold out this position fairly well. Get some AT back here, machine guns. Get some infantry into here. You can hold this side much better. Obviously this side is more easy to defend from the red side, but compared to this one, yeah, maybe that's what they were thinking. It would be easy to hold this, but they just didn't invest enough into it. Panzers and Sturmey arriving now and getting absolutely wiped by the Little Johns. The amount of Little Johns in here is just murderous. They're going to sneak around the back by the looks of it. Yeah, take out the Mulberwagen as well. But they've got the ticket advantage. Like, I guess all they're doing now really is playing for the draw. Because they need to stay on. They need to have more tickets than their opponent by the end of the game. Or keep the flags equal. Because there's no way they're going to have more flags at the end of the game. They'll be lucky to get equal flags at this rate, I'd say. Yeah, but 20 minutes of balanced income coming in. The amount of points the Allied side is going to have is going to be ridiculous. So it's just a question of like how much they believe they've managed to trade effectively in the first part of the game. Yeah, we can see it's not terrible, but not fantastic. The north is still fairly secure, still going to be really difficult for the Allies to get back in there, but there's no need for them to focus that. Looks like, yeah, the main focus now is right on the centre here. They can push right through over this hill. Typhoon's coming in, and oh dear. Are we going to see surrender coming after that? That was brutal. They've lost their commander, they've lost their Panzerwerfer, they lost supply, all in a couple of Typhoon shots. That is just... oh. That would make me surrender. Especially looking at what I've got left on the hill as well, like a single Jakari, oh, 2 Jakari dying, and not much else. In the south, they did push back onto the hill, but pushed straight back off it again. The off-map just continually coming down on top of them. Really nasty work. Yeah, I guess the issue is though, if you're pushing across the open area here into here, which is a good thing to do, because like you can see the line of sight. If you drive down here, you're pretty much out of line of sight of everything up here. Nothing can see, so you can drive lots of stuff into here, get it unloaded, get some light armor into here, and you can cause all kinds of problems then. But it's going to take time. It would have to push for that idea in A. Oh, Challenger. You don't get to see many Challengers coming out. Unusual tank. Terrible frontal armor, but an amazing AT gun on it. And decent HE. But the frontal armor, I don't know why they made these tanks. Really weird. Really interesting game. There's 2 commanders brought out as well on this side. Maybe we don't see any commanders on this side, I believe. I don't recall seeing any. So that's a decent investment in points. I guess with Maverick it does make some sense, because you want to just get all your infantry, get all your armor boosted up to high veterancy, and then just ram them through, ram them down your opponent's throat. They're still holding a northern position here, but it's just... ah, they've lost. They've been pushed off the hill actually, a little bit. I imagine some bombing runs coming over there. Yeah, I keep forgetting I should just put it on this view throughout the entire game. Slight angle makes it much easier. If you've got any comments about how I can do the commentary better on these games, let me know. I think, just saying, I think this kind of angle does make more sense. And then I could sort of switch it around to this angle. This one doesn't really seem to work very well. It's too much you miss. Oh, yeah, these Panzerwerfers, they don't look to have been too effective. I think it's more the range. If they're the shorter range, I think you can wipe things out. 2 twos. Look at them go. Look at them go. And more off-map coming in. Oh, brutal. So, fitz+Kewa looking pretty strong at the moment. Against Homer+Stardekk. Let me just jump to the Discord. I can't quite recall who's in what group at the moment. So this is Group B. There's only 3 teams in each group, and then moving to Stage 2. Let me just check a second. Who is the other team? Because I saw them trying to arrange it recently. Oh yeah, it's Minor Male and Heffron. So it should be interesting to see. I saw them trying to arrange with fitz+Kewa, I believe. Then it's going to be a battle between... I've got a feeling it's going to be more of a battle between a Homer+Stardekk and Minor Male and Heffron to see who gets into second place. Then when they go through to the next stage, they'll be in a better group. The first stage of this competition is a bit like a seeding, so there's three groups, each with 3 teams, and whoever finishes top of the group, they then go through to the next stage with all the top players going through into their own little group, and they can all qualify. They all qualify for the knockout stage, and then in the second place finishing group. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty hard to explain in words, I would say. You can check that out on the YouTube. There's a little short video explaining it. But I've played one game in like the Americas region. I competed in that with Durdles. I'm probably going to play another game this week if I can. But there's only 3 games been played up to now. So I'm going to get on at people, get them to play their games. Oh, that reminds me of Super Noob. I need to post about that tomorrow, I believe. The next challenge is coming in. Yeah, speaking on Monday morning for me here, by the way. We happy? Question. It's kind of a funny name. And just see the overwhelming power of Balanced here now. Yeah, in 2v2s, I've played when I've had like someone, like I've been on Maverick and my team has been on Balance, and it can work out really well against a double Balanced team as well. Because you just have that extra pushing power, and if you pick the right division, like something like Tartalek or even like Pansari, where you can get in lots of infantry in the C phase at a very cheap price, you can then still bulk out and help as the game drags on. But even then, you're still looking to finish people off fairly early on, get a huge advantage within like the first sort of 20-30 minutes of the game. Then with your advantage, and because they're pushing back into you, if you trade effectively, you can grind them. And do remember as well, if you are the home team, you can choose to deploy with 500 points per team instead of 750. And I believe Homer+Stardekk were the home team in this game. Let me just check something here, because I've not actually seen. I'll just check in the replay, see what it says. Because if they'd done that, it would have given a bigger advantage. Yeah, starting point 750. They had the choice not to do that. They could have gone for 500 points, which gives the early game more power. Because obviously, like, you want your opponent to have less. Well, if you've both got less points on the field, then if you get a huge influx of points early in the game, it's going to matter more. The difference in points is going to be relatively bigger. And here we see Kewa absolutely hammering home. Yeah, in a southern position, he just brute forced his way through there. Yeah, Stardekk trading pretty well. Homer not trading too bad. It's just like dropped about 300 points or so. Not too bad. But Kewa, really, I'm not at all familiar with this player, to be honest. But yeah, really effective trading here. Might just be a primary team player here. Fitz, really solid. Stardekk, he's not quite trading effectively. Interesting division choices. You don't expect to see Pansari and 116th. I like the idea that Stardekk had here, but then Panzerwerfers, I just think the range, it looks like they need to fire at a much closer range to be effective, but I don't know. I don't use the things, to be honest. In terms of kills, I guess we've got Fitz's. He's the one who's downloaded this. T34 picking off a hell of a lot of stuff. That was the one on the hill, I believe. Like picking off that Sturm at the end, getting the T26s. Yeah, the lack of, in terms of what I would call errors in the build, I think the lack of AT guns. Just having one. Who was it? Just had one card in A of the pack 4s. If you could just bring in one card of pack 4s, I'd always go for it in B phase, to be honest. But yeah, who am I to say? All of these plays are much better than me. I'm not not denying that. Doesn't mean I can't still point out some possible mistakes here and there. But yeah, good game, entertaining one. I really thought they might have been able to push through there with a Maverick at the end, but it just didn't quite get the infantry push going at the same time. Really nice push in the north, but didn't work out for the Axis this time. So yeah, well played by fitz+Kewa and Homer+Stardekk. fitz+Kewa looks set up for a pretty successful season by the looks of it. They're looking really strong. Kewa, I don't know who he is, but looking really good. Anyway, that is it. I will see you next time. Bye-byes.